How does a brand like Brain Dead get away with selling $100 t-shirts that customers can't resist? Legacy giants are tumbling, making way for powerhouses like Shein and Uniqlo, who are dominating the market. With fast fashion brands attracting customers with low-cost, trendy wardrobes, you might wonder, can a niche streetwear startup really compete without pricing everything under $30? Enter Brain Dead, a Los Angeles-based label that's flipping the script and making $100 tees the new normal. Yes, you heard that right. Instead of splurging on a fast fashion haul, devotees are lining up for Brain Dead's merchandise and their secret weapon, a guerrilla-style Instagram marketing that's as unconventional as it is effective. So what's the magnetism behind Brain Dead's $100 shirts that keeps their followings coming back for more? Let's face it, if you're going to be successful for an extended amount of time selling $100 t-shirts, having a unique visual identity is a must. Brain Dead's Instagram isn't just a feed, it's a masterclass in branding. With their bold graphics, quirky designs, and unconventional photography, they've crafted an Instagram presence that's not just seen, it's remembered. From its earliest posts, you can see how the brand is all about pushing boundaries, not just with the products they sell, but with the visuals they use to market them as well. The graphics are loud, unique, and deliberately outside the norm, appealing to a subculture that thrives on individuality. Their photography is raw and often surreal, creating a sense of mystery around their product offerings that makes them more than just clothing items. They become wearable art pieces. Over time, Brain Dead has maintained this overall visual identity while constantly evolving. Their posts have grown more polished but never lose that distinctive edge. Their graphics have become noticeably sharper and the photography has become more high concept, but the chaotic energy that defines the brand has remained consistent throughout a masterclass in staying true to the brand they stake their claim on. This evolution to the brand is a tightrope walk, and Brain Dead is acing it. As they expand, they're clinging to their original ethos, striking that perfect balance between staying relatable to their diehards and intriguing enough to draw in fresh eyes. Looking back at Brain Dead's oldest Instagram posts, starting with their first post back in August of 2014, you can see the brand's evolution in real time, long before massive crossovers with A-list celebrities like Jeff Goldblum or Russell Westbrook, or staple brands like Adidas or Clarks. The early days were filled with experimental content, a mix of low-res photos, and a bold graphics that had a do-it-yourself feel to them. This raw and polished aesthetic appealed to the underground fashion scene where authenticity trumps everything. Over time, Brain Dead has refined its visual content without losing its rebellious spirit. The designs have gotten louder, more avant-garde, and have also become more and more about the brand itself rather than just the clothing. The newer post also shows a more professional touch with higher quality images and a more cohesive design elements as the brand has blossomed its account to close to 500,000 followers. Where the older posts were curated as more of an acid-induced fever dream, the newer ones focus more on a refined vibe, truly one of a kind. However, one thing has remained constant: Brain Dead's ability to keep their base guessing. Every few months, there's a noticeable shift in their content, whether it's through new graphic styles, collaborations with artists, or experimental photography techniques. This constant evolution keeps their feed fresh and engaging, ensuring that their base never gets bored. Brain Dead isn't just playing the game, they're setting the rules. Their strategy, viral campaigns that perfectly capture and retain the attention of their audience. Take their 2022 collaboration with Magic the Gathering. This collaboration is an excellent example of what has kept Brain Dead not only relevant but consistently growing. After their initial crossover, Brain Dead has continued to host yearly Magic tournaments while hosting limited pop-up shops. These campaigns are built around scarcity, creating a sense of urgency that drives followers to act quickly. But what makes these campaigns even more effective is how they incorporate Braindead's signature weirdness. Whether it's through bizarre graphics, offbeat product teasers, or unconventional marketing methods, the posts themselves feel like part of a larger narrative, drawing followers in and making them feel like they're in on something exclusive. Another cornerstone of Braindead's viral triumph is their seamless fusion of street culture with high fashion. Braindead's campaigns often feature collaborations with influential artists, musicians, influencers, or other brands that resonate with their target audience. These collaborations not only expand their reach, but also add credibility to the brand, making each product drop feel like an event in itself. By keeping these campaigns fresh, unexpected, and tied to limited quantity product drops, Braindead consistently turns their Instagram feed into a platform for virality. Braindead's ability to engage and retain its ever-growing audience of counterculture enthusiasts is one of the key reasons that makes their Instagram presence so powerful. They don't just post and wait for people to react. They actively invite interaction. One of the most effective engagement tactics they use is the blending of their weird artistic graphics with interactive elements like polls, quizzes, and questions inside their story. These interactive posts encourage followers to participate, whether it's voting on their favorite design or answering bizarre, thought-provoking questions that feel true to the Braindead aesthetic. Time-sensitive calls to action also play a huge role in boosting engagement. Braindead often teases new product releases with cryptic posts or strange videos, and then follows up with the limited window and quantity for purchase. This urgency creates a sense of exclusivity, making followers feel like they're part of a select group. The blend of playful graphics paired with a blink and you'll miss it mentality isn't just engaging, it's addictive. It keeps the audience consistently engaged and eager for more. Braindead's creative use of reels and stories is another major factor behind their Instagram success. They leverage these tools not just for visibility, but to enhance the narrative surrounding their products. Their reels often feature short, trippy clips that align with their unconventional style, quick cuts, and unusual angles, and a blend of surreal imagery with their latest product drops. These reels get a lot of traction because they're not your typical fashion clips. They're more like art installations, which encourages sharing. Stories, on the other hand, are used by Braindead for real-time engagement. They frequently post behind-the-scenes content, sneak peeks of upcoming collections, and interactive elements like polls or countdowns to product launches. These stories keep their followers engaged between posts and give the brand a more personal, unfiltered touch. Braindead has also relied on Reels heavily as of late to do a more thorough promotion of the collaborations with large brands such as Oakley and even the music streaming giant Spotify. By using both Reels and stories strategically, Braindead ensures that their Instagram feed remains dynamic and constantly visible, driving engagement and keeping their audience invested. Another way Braindead stands out on Instagram is the incorporation of their audience into their narrative. They frequently encourage user-generated content, whether it's through reposting customers wearing their products or creating challenges that invite followers to participate. This not only strengthens engagement, but also gives followers a sense of ownership over the brand's identity. By showcasing their community's involvement, Braindead creates a feedback loop where followers feel seen, appreciated, and eager to keep interacting with the brand. Their use of Instagram stories and comments also highlights how deeply they value their followers. They often respond to comments in playful and personal ways, making their audience feel directly connected to the brand. Through interactive Instagram stories such as polls, questions, and countdowns, they consistently invite followers to engage in real time. For example, before a product drop, Braindead might post a poll asking fans to pick between two designs, adding an element of anticipation and direct input from their community. This two-way conversation strengthens brands' loyalty as followers feel like they're not just observing but actively participating in the brand's journey.
I'm just playing in the cut, I got my Vans on. I'm not selfish, I get on to put my mans on. Always greedy since the day I got my first safe. 5'7", but I'm 6'8" when I stand on the money piles. Money.
Braindead successfully turns Instagram into more than just a platform for broadcasting content. It's a space for building relationships, their brand's cultural resonance, and community-driven approach. Braindead success is not just about aesthetics. It's about tapping into the root of the cultural zeitgeist. The brand has an uncanny ability to align itself with current trends, social movements, and underground subcultures. Whether it's through collaborations with socially conscious artists or posts that subtly nod to broader cultural conversations, Braindead constantly connects with its audience on a level that goes a whole lot deeper than your average streetwear brand inside 2024. Their posts often reference niche pop culture, which resonates strongly with their followers, who see the brand as a voice for their own identities. One key example that I could tell you is how they engage with movements like sustainability or social justice. While Braindead doesn't come across as preachy, they infuse these elements into their content in an authentic way. This not only bolsters their brand cultural relevance, but also strengthens the emotional connection they have with their followers. By staying in alignment with causes their audience cares about and reflecting that in their campaigns, Braindead has built a community of fans who feel seen and represented by the brand. Their approach to community building is organic, and they treat their Instagram feed as more than just a sales platform. By highlighting user-generated content, promoting collaborations with like-minded creators, and evolving their audience in decision-making such as voting on designs, Braindead has cultivated an inclusive, engaged community that feels personally connected to the brand, and I think that's dope. This sense of community enhances brand loyalty, right? As followers aren't just customers, they're part of something bigger. The brand also frequently hosts pop-up events and limited releases that feel like exclusive gatherings for their fans. These events are often featured on their Instagram, furthering the feeling of closeness and inclusion. By creating this tight-knit community, the brand ensures repeat purchases and long-term loyalty from their fan base. We can't forget about the analytical approach to growth. Braindead growth isn't just about creativity. It's also driven by a keen understanding of data and analytics. It is clear from their massive growth since their founding that they are consistently analyzing Instagram metrics such as follower growth, post engagement, retention, and story views to refine their strategy. Viral campaigns and high engagement posts are not accidents. They are the results of careful analysis and adaptation. By paying attention to what resonates most with their audience, the brand can keep evolving their content and staying ahead of trends. By staying ahead of the curve, Braindead has consistently been able to adapt slightly when necessary in order to continue their growth without sacrificing any of the personality that has put them in a league of their own. The brand's Instagram success is a perfect blend of creative content, cultural relevance, and data-driven strategy. They have absolutely mastered the art of turning followers into loyal customers by consistently evolving their visuals, tapping into cultural movements, and fostering a genuine sense of community around a brand and product offering that is most often outside the boundaries of the social norm. Their counterculture approach shows that Instagram isn't just a platform for showcasing products. It's a space to build relationships and make your brand a cultural force. And of course, Brain Dead is also a testament to the age-old strategy of even establishing a brand and creating a community that by remaining loyal to who you are as a person and as a brand, true success can be achieved. So, to answer the question posed at the beginning of the video, Brain Dead's followers can't stop buying their $100 t-shirts and other products because they are the brand who sticks out willingly and utilizes their Instagram presence with near perfection to capture and retain a customer base. And by the way, YouTube said if you like this video, you should check this one out next. Alright y'all, this is Lee from North Studios. Next time, I'm out here.